you have to have some way to disconnect from this work. Either it's whether that's gaming or watching TV or just drinking or taking drugs, whatever people do to just disconnect. You cannot just
I don't think
constantly work. I agree that you have to put in more hours and you'll be
but I don't
eventually
think
better,
you
but
really.
there's like a limit.
I don't think you really disconnect. I think whenever you do these things, like running, meditating, playing video games, you're. I mean, the truth. I mean, at least to me, that's what's interesting is it relaxes me, so then I can have better ideas. But it's still part of a goal.
So we're back this week. It's Thanksgiving in like 2 days.
Woo!
Frank's in Europe, so he's celebrating some version of Thanksgiving out there.
We'll have
Teddy's
chicken.
in New York. He's have chicken. Teddy's in New York. I fly up to New York tomorrow because I'm a masochist. For some reason, leaving 80-degree weather to go to, I think it's going to be 27 at night. But as they say, um, it's good to celebrate Thanksgiving in very cold conditions, so you're grateful of the people that were the natives here, and then of course, I mean, the problem with Thanksgiving is it's a great holiday, but let's be real, all the Europeans basically killed the natives after Thanksgiving, so
Yeah, we did.
historically.
Sorry.
So, because no one really views this podcast, I'm sure some AI will pick that up, and then I'll be a part of the woke crusade, and somebody will come after me. But thinking about the messy middle and what we're grateful for, and sort of Thanksgiving, I I really think what's important is, last week we were talking about when to say yes. I think now we're heading into the season of when to start thinking about what you've been working on during the messy middle time period. Is it actually gotten you to where you need to be in the next step of your journey? And like figuring out what to work on next. Should you keep working on it? Should you kill it? And set your expectations that between now and the end of the year, it's going to be very challenging to raise money for whatever you're working on, unless it's like AI. Um, and also, from a business sort of standpoint, everybody else outside of post-exit founder world is mostly thinking about next year. They're just like, I'm already on vacation mode.
Mm-mm.
Is that an okay topic to discuss right now? Is that something you guys want to discuss, or Frank or Teddy, you've got like a better idea?
What are we talking about?
Thanksgiving, what are you grateful for?
I'm so confused right now. It's kind of a slow. Yeah, the end of the year is like, I don't know, everything slows down. To me, I like it because it means less human interaction and more work and stuff.
More time to work, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's more like the developer point of view, you enjoy the less interaction time.
Yep.
So I guess
what would you do? You just like hang out with friends. There's like one night with family, and one day, whatever, and then
friends? What is that?
You gotta whatever. If you have friends, yeah, of course. But like, what else could you do? You just work. That's it. No time to waste.
Yeah.
No, it's exactly that. I mean, to me, it's like I'm like I mean, I guess it's more. A lot of founders are the same. Like I can't really tell the difference between a Saturday, a Tuesday, or a holiday, or a not holiday. Like the only way I know about it is because my interactions with people are different during that time. I'm like, oh, let's catch up next week. I'm like, oh, I can't because it's blah 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 holiday. I'm like, okay, sorry, I forgot.
But joke aside, if I think about it from like how I feel about the holidays, it feels like I have the right to not work if I want to, versus the rest of the year where I feel like I really want to work. But then like this, let's say Thursday and Friday, and then the longer weekend, it feels like, okay, now I'm allowed to kind of chill. Although I'm going to use that time to do some more work in a quiet environment, I just feel that way. It's so weird feeling, like almost feeling guilty for not working.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's
but I'll miss you guys. I wish we could do Thanksgiving together.
Yeah, but what's distracting, Frank, is I keep seeing you scrolling on things on your screen, and it's reflecting on the screen. So that's my working situation.
I'm working at the same time as we're doing this thing. I can multitask. Like, by the way, I saw a study about that. I think when people do Zoom or something like that, it's like 60 or 70% of people do the Zoom and other thing.
Well, yes, but what's nice is when we're talking on our podcast is to focus on us.
I'm focusing on you. Jesus. You're like you're talking like a Microsoft executive from 1990.
Well, I'd be happy to be a Microsoft. I'd actually be very happy to be a Microsoft executive from 1990. Like Justin
you have good stocks.
Palmer, you do really good stocks.
You guys never worked. Yeah, I mean.
And they never worked, and they don't now. They retired like 98. Maybe they retired, around that time period. And it'd be very nice. So no, I wanted to go back to that point that Teddy was talking about of how it's a good time to plot, plan, and actually do uninterrupted work. I think if your expectation is you're going to raise money and that's like your focus now, I would just say it's a challenge. Like I've done it. Like I raised money for Gamma December of 2017, and I raised like $2.8 million in those 3 weeks. Yeah. So, and the money came in all before the new year. But that was because it was crypto. It was remember it was the ICO season. And
it's also, I mean, it's true that people work less during the holiday season, but I'm curious about your point of view on that, because I remember that meme I like where it was like holiday season in Europe VC versus US one, and you can see the European VC is like, I'm on holidays, like send me an email in January, and then the US VC is somehow always available. There's something about that where it's not all VCs, but you can definitely still close deals, I believe. The good ones are going to be out there.
You could close deals before Christmas. But once Christmas hits, Christmas to New Year's, you can still do it, but you have to be like the hottest sort of product and person on the market. And of course, there's always outliers. But the truth is, like, expecting to close a deal between that time period is really difficult, not just because maybe the investors aren't working. There's also a lot of people that, like, on the admin side are not working either, lawyers, etc. I did the SPAC, and we actually publicly filed the SPAC between Christmas and New Year's of 2021 to 22, and that was pretty cool to get all that work done there. And
that's, it was like, sorry, I'm always thinking about the future, but I'm thinking that all these things will disappear with AI, because the reason we care about the end of the year or the beginning of the year or Christmas or whatever is entirely abstract. Just we chose to make it something because, I don't know, we have 12 months because the Sumerians were counting between their fingers, and and then for some reason we have these holidays and all of that. But if you really think about it, it makes absolutely no sense that we should have less business during that time. Anyway, sorry, it's gonna disappear. This chat will make no sense 10 years from now.
I don't know what to say to that, but yeah. Right.
I mean, my feeling towards that is like, if there's no reason to have holidays or celebration, then there's really no reason for humans to exist other than work.
That's my point. We'll have AI everywhere, like all these things. Like maybe we'll have AI founders pitching to AI VCs. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's already happening.
I can't say that.
Maybe our future business, the way we survive, is we'll make Patagonia coats for AI robots VCs.
Well, why do they need coats?
Because every VC needs a Patagonia or whatever, maybe they'll find it cool. And they'll like that it's like, oh, my Patagonia was made by a real human, It's kind of fancy.
I think back to our conversation, Frank, you said it for the summer. It's a good filter for you to spot good people, employees or investors or whatever, because whoever works during this time, it's kind of, they're onto something, they're dedicated, whatever. It's not like a badge of honor or anything like that, but if someone is really willing to push something across the line, you can easily find those people, I think.
No, I was really trying
to your ability, Gabriel, to fundraise during this time.
I was really trying
You're
to
a founder,
derail.
You have this.
Yeah,
Frank, go ahead.
I'm really trying to derail the conversation. It's like eggnog.
Trying to derail the conversation with both of us talking. So
no, but it's but yeah, I mean, I like outliers, I guess, is your just to answer quickly your question. I still think it's
it wasn't a question, but yeah.
To me, the best ones. It is a question. But the best ones are going to be the one working now for sure.
Yeah. again, it's not the best one, but like you really want to
It
push
is the
something
best
across
one.
the line.
No,
It doesn't. No, but like I think that's a false narrative because you're just pushing people to. If you're not working, you're not one of the best ones. I don't think that's
exactly.
true.
That's my point. That's what I say. If you're not,
Yeah, it's not true.
You're good,
No.
but you might not be great.
Totally not true. People go through all sorts of challenges in life. It's not just work, work, work. I know we talk about this, but like.
Yeah.
It's a good filter to find good people, but it doesn't mean that if someone is just taking a couple of days off, it's not among the top people. I don't think that's true.
I think it's true, but I'm not saying it's nice. I wish it was not true, but it's pretty obvious. But it sucks. Yeah, it's like you
have to define what you decide.
The whole debate of life work balance.
I know, but if you
no,
what are you defining the best as, Frank? So if you're defining the best as a sole person, which is probably who you're thinking of, it's probably like Elon Musk. Like you have to think about by industry and everything. But industry that it just people work differently, and as humans, we do need some downtime. So
I'm not, again, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you do that. I'm talking about the best. If someone works all the time nonstop, is some kind of monster that always delivers things, it's obviously going to beat someone who goes on holidays and don't work enough. It's just pure math.
But none of
if someone works 200 days and someone else is exactly the same works 100 days.
You have to produce outstanding results to be outstanding, to push more than the average person to become this extraordinary person. That's true. Of course, you have to do these extraordinary measures, whatever. But that doesn't mean that you cannot take days off and play Diablo and be the best. Even like in your case, taking Elon Musk. You are not immediately putting him in the category of terrible people. He's still in the best people.
I'm just being rational again.
So like
I'm just being rational. Let's assume you have two people. One's a great. Both are equally good founders. So the one who will work 100 hours is not going to be as good as the one who puts 150 hours. That's all. It's normal. It's math.
There's a point where the returns don't.
Yeah.
Like you're comparing, so 100 hours versus 150 hours. There's got to be a cutoff point where once you start working, I don't know, 100 hours more.
Everybody's different, but yeah, but again, if somehow you can do that, I'm sure people in the comments can defend me. So because I'm not crazy, guys. If you work more, you do more. After that, is that the life I want for myself? No, because
that's
I'm not.
True. But there's like a line how much you can work, because you have to have some way to disconnect from this work. Either it's whether that's gaming or watching TV or just drinking or taking drugs, whatever people do to just disconnect. You cannot just constantly work. I agree that you have to put in more hours and you will be eventually better, but there's like a limit.
I don't think you really disconnect. I think whenever you do these things, like, running, meditating, playing video games, the truth, at least to me, that's what's interesting, is it relaxes me, so then I can have better ideas, but it's still part of a goal,
So what you're saying,
I don't.
So it's not. So to me, it's still productive. It's still a way to get more creative. So it still fits within the obsession of being efficient. Which is very different from someone who says, you know what? Like, I don't want to hear about work for 3 weeks, and I'm gonna go.
But none of us do that. And I think contextually,
no, that's the extreme.
I think the problem.
No, it's not extreme. It's pretty much 99.9% of French people, at least.
I know, but if we're talking about, let's say we're talking about the three of us. The three of us don't do that, right? Like we've done
exactly. But again, so I don't think we disagree. Then you're misunderstanding me.
But the problem is where we're disagreeing is you're taking it to the next level, which is go work 150 hours. I think once you figure out like what's really worth working towards, right? Then you commit to doing it. Then you'll, like, I know from my experience, like I was getting married.
Again, I don't think we disagree. I think it's like if we're talking about. Yeah, sorry, Sagan, but I don't think we disagree. I really don't think. Let me give a metaphor.
Finish your thought. No, let's hear Gabriel's first, and then we'll just go in circle.
But he's trying to argue why I'm wrong, and I'm trying to say no. I think we just misunderstand each other.
Okay, so maybe it's a misunderstanding.
It is. Can I give my metaphor, and then I'll let you go on? But my metaphor would be, right now it's like if I'm talking about a marathon, and what you're saying is like if you run too fast, you're gonna burn out. And I'm saying, if you're a fucking badass marathonian from Kenya who can run like 50 kilometers per hour for like 6 hours, then you're going to be better than the guy who tries to do that and cannot handle it. It's just a matter of that. It's competition. Some people don't burn out and work more than others.
You can't do a back-to-back
Marathons,
marathon and
yes,
expect
that's
to
what I'm trying to
have
say.
success in every single marathon because you're working back to back to back.
Yeah.
I think
But the best marathonian will go faster than the one who, who's running less. That's all I'm saying. The one who takes break to have a glass of water in the middle of a marathon for 10 minutes, is not going to win.
But I don't disagree with the hard work. The only point where I disagree is you immediately put everyone who's not in this schedule, if it's not performing,
that includes myself. Again, I'm
they're
thinking
immediately outside
the world is cruel,
of the category that you classify as the best, which I don't agree with, because different people handle situations differently. Maybe that marathoner will have a couple glasses of water and still beat the rest of them. Maybe that's his or her strategy. So by stopping for a water, it doesn't mean that this is a bad person and you immediately disqualify them from the best. Wait till the end. Wait for the longer term. Maybe I'm dealing differently than you, like the way how we handle the marathon is different.
No, so that's the only point I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about an absolute, which is what I've seen in the past is great startups and great founders during the holidays. They would just keep working really hard. There's no break. It's not especially sure.
Sure. I don't think
sure you can go to you go to Thanksgiving dinner, of course. It's just.
But I also know some really good startups. It's funny, some of the best startups in their category, they take a week off, not necessarily during the holidays, but they still take a week off. And they say you can't do any work for a week.
The employees or the founders?
The employees and the founders. So it's
but the employees, of course. But I'm talking about the founders. Do the founders take a week off? Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember which one. It's definitely a multi-billion-dollar one that my friend works for. I can't remember. I think that, and I'll have to look. But and I was like, really? And they're not allowed to do work. And they've said historically this has helped their company because it allowed people to reset. Now, if we're thinking about founders, yeah, I've only ever worked through the holidays, and my example that I was giving was, I remember my wedding day, I signed and I was negotiating the final agreement with Citibank on the underwriting of my SPAC, right? This was the morning of my wedding. I'm on a conference call, and then New Year's Eve in Russia, I've told you, I had the SPAC, all the paperwork went public with the SPAC, and that's when that guy fucking Matthew Ball sent us an email saying he was pulling out and called Bloomberg and was like, "Oh, I'm not working on it anymore." And probably one of the positioning of why I did it during New Year's is so that he wouldn't be able to pull out until the next day. But so I get what you're saying, but
we can do a survey. I would really love a few viewers. Please comment and tell us what you do for these holidays. And I would say to the one who take a break, have a great break, and to the one who are gonna work like crazy during this holiday, then.
But we do the podcast during the holiday, so I just feel like you're being condescending and almost pedantic to our audience because
I don't know. Let's have him talk.
I don't think our audience is the audience that actually says, "Okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks off," or it's my birthday, I'm not going to take a call because it's my birthday. So
That's not what I'm saying. That's what you're saying.
No, that's exactly what you said. You're putting them in a category of not being the best, which really bothers me. I don't want our message towards anyone to be that
I'm going to make a bet.
If you're not working, you're not a good person. The thing is that you need to take time off when you need it, however you need it, and spend it on things that you love. It doesn't matter. If you, Gabriel, in your situation, weren't really forced in a way to do the fundraise on your wedding day or whatever, talk to clients, it's fine to not do it, right? There's nothing to work on. Right? So you're not immediately in a category of not being the best or not being a good founder. That's not the message I want to put out there. It's if there's something that you need to handle and be on top of, sure, do it. Doesn't matter. That's how you create progress. That's how you become successful. But if there's no work or you were able to figure everything out and then you have 2 days to enjoy or 1 week or whatever you want, then just go and fucking enjoy. I think that's the message.
But again, we're not saying something different. What you're saying is exactly that, whenever, depending on your business, you're going to have times of work, times of less work. But to me, it has nothing to do with holidays.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a holiday. Yeah.
So if
Great.
lucky for you if it happens during the holidays, but
Yeah.
And again, I'm really curious. Like, hopefully, some of our audience will comment. But I would bet you 90% of our audience is working during these holidays.
Yeah, but mostly everybody's working.
Which is great as long as they have what to work on, not just for the sake of working.
Well, it's true. Yeah.
I'm not talking about being stack enough. I'm not communist. I'm a capitalist. It's like I like the idea
but there are some people. But there are some people who just.
The whole point is beating your competition. It's like you want to crush them.
Right. Oh my God.
America.
Okay. So I think
I'm a little aggressive lately. I'm not sure why, but
this definitely was our longest debate we've had on should you work or not work, and then if you work.
Exactly. I'm on the side of we should work, and you guys on the side, well, fuck work.
No, I'm on the side to do whatever you feel like doing, whatever that is.
Yeah. That's what I am. I'm actually on that side.
To me, I've learned that from the guy who went to the softball, which is like this. And Mike Tyson says something like that too. Discipline is about doing things you don't want to do with a smile.
Yeah, but he was working towards something. He had discipline towards something. So I think the problem.
I'm not saying that. Like, when did I say the opposite of that? We're talking about founders here.
What I want to point out is there's some people that post on X or whatever, or Twitter historically, who say the best ones are working during the holidays now, and they're working on some stupid SaaS product that's got no users, and they're going to keep working on that fucking thing.
Of course, correlation is not causality. It's not because you work all the time that you're going to do a good thing.
I know, but people think that.
The one who are doing good things, I swear, like I'm sure are working on holidays, no doubt.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a VC and you see one of your portfolio company, like, sending photos during the holidays from the Bahamas, with renting some Lamborghini, your company, your portfolio company will have an issue.
Or their crypto, historically. Okay.
Which is the same.
Okay. So that's our Thanksgiving stuff for now.
Yeah.
I think we can leave.
I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to have this podcast with you guys. It's always a pleasure. And it's nice that we have debates. It's like we don't have to agree on everything. It's the beauty of podcasts.
But what you just did to us is you just gaslighted us to tell us that we agree with your commentary on.
No. We disagree.
No. We're pretty clear we're not agreeing, and you're sort of trying to get closer to us, but it's not working. You immediately disqualified anyone who's not doing any work, which is bad. And people who listen to this, you shouldn't listen to Frank.
We don't have anyone lazy listening to us. No one lazy is listening to us.
Think with a clear head. Do whatever feels right. If you feel like work. If not, then just chill and have a nice weekend.
Yeah. Okay, Frank. Because you dominated the conversation so much, can you find us a Ayn Rand quote for yourself?
I do. I was reading in my book about Sumer, and it's like it's a quote from 3,000 years ago.
Not to be confused with
You're helpless.
Taking vacation.
Also, no, Sumerian, Sumer.
Yeah, we got it.
I don't say that in English. Sure, I don't know if it's a good quote, but I like it, and you can meditate on it. Your helpless donkey has no more speed left. And then the guy replies, my donkey was not destined to run quickly. I think it's really summarized our conversation.
Okay.
So
you think it's like destiny
or not destined?
Destined.
Okay.
But I like
I'll let you meditate on the donkey.
Destiny.
I'm not gonna say what I think. I think it's right on point. Which donkey are we?
Okay, you three donkeys.
Sumerian wisdom. Happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays. Bye.